Everyone wants to lose weight fast, but what most people don't realize is that losing weight fast isn't the same as losing it smart. Most jump into restrictive diets, cut everything all at once, and then wonder why they end up right back where they started. The problem was never the body, it was the method. Now, imagine a plan that's real, simple, and sustainable. Something any ordinary person can follow and actually maintain. And the best part, without starving yourself, without cutting out what you love, and without turning your daily life into a battlefield. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to show you what actually works. The same plan I used to lose 20 pounds and transform my body without losing my mind. One step at a time, no shortcuts, but with strategy. Everything starts before the diet, before the gym, before any plan. It starts here, in the way you talk to yourself. When someone says, "I can't eat that," the brain interprets it as punishment. But if the phrase changes to, "I don't eat that," it becomes a choice. It may seem like a small detail, but it's the kind that changes everything. That's how the idea of sustainable fat loss is born, when control comes from within, not from guilt. Think of an ordinary guy like Daniel. He stopped trying to lose weight and started living like a healthy person. No magic formula, just a change in mindset. And the funny thing is, when he changed the way he saw himself, his body started to follow. The identity came first, the result came later. But then comes the question that opens the next step. How do you make the brain believe in a body that doesn't exist yet? Before the body changes, the mind has to see it first. It's almost like watching the trailer of your own transformation. When you picture yourself training, eating well, and sleeping better, your brain begins to accept that new version as real. And here's the fascinating part. It doesn't distinguish between what you imagine and what you actually experience. That's the secret behind the mindset for weight loss, getting your brain to work in your favor before the body even reacts. A practical tip: every night before bed, close your eyes and imagine your ideal routine. The right breakfast, the workout that boosts your energy, the feeling of wearing clothes that once didn't fit. This creates an invisible bridge between intention and action. It's simple but powerful. If this insight resonated with you, I'd love to know what your ideal routine looks like. Share it in the comments. I'll be happy to respond. When your routine becomes clear, the body just follows the script. But what happens when motivation disappears? That's where the real power of silent consistency begins. Motivation is that friend who shows up full of energy on Monday and disappears by Wednesday. Consistency, on the other hand, is the partner who never misses a day. It doesn't shout, it doesn't make noise, but it's always there, every single day, even when no one's watching. It's what holds progress together when enthusiasm fades. That's the true heart of sustainable fat loss. Small victories repeated until they become part of who you are. Think of Anna. She didn't do anything extreme. She simply kept the habit of walking 5 times a week and tweaking her breakfast. Simple, almost effortless. But the mirror started to show what her body already knew. Consistency beats intensity. It's the sum of ordinary days that builds extraordinary results. Yet there's a silent saboteur that destroys all of it without you even realizing. Alcohol is deceptive. It seems harmless. A glass of wine here, a beer there, but inside, it throws everything off balance. The body stops burning fat and starts prioritizing the breakdown of alcohol as its main energy source. The result? A slowed metabolism, poor sleep, and stronger cravings for junk food the next day. It's like playing the game on hard mode without even realizing it. Many people notice the difference within the first week of not drinking. They wake up with more energy, their face looks less bloated, and their appetite begins to stabilize. And you don't have to become a teetotaler. You just need to understand the cost of every drink. Every glass you skip is one step closer to control. It's the first strategic cut in your journey. And once the body starts responding, the next step is to understand the real fuel that drives progress, the calorie deficit. Here's where the logical part of transformation begins, the number that determines whether your body burns or stores. The calculation is simple. Your weight in pounds multiplied by 12, or by 11 if you want to speed things up a bit. That number shows how many calories you need each day to maintain what you have. Eating slightly less than that puts your body into fat-burning mode. It's the starting point of every sustainable fat loss journey. But don't worry, this isn't about starving yourself, it's about strategy. Think of it like a budget. If you spend more than you earn, you go into debt. If you eat more than you need, you gain fat. When you understand the calorie deficit, you start seeing food as a tool, not an enemy. It's simple, clear, and freeing. And now that you know how much to eat, the next step is to understand what really deserves priority. Protein is the building block of body transformation. It preserves muscle, controls hunger, and boosts metabolism. Three things that work together when the goal is to change your body, not just your weight. The rule is simple: between 0.8 and 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 160 pounds, for example, somewhere between 130 and 160 grams of protein per day is the sweet spot. It's the fuel that drives body recomposition, and there's no need to overcomplicate it. You can hit that target with practical choices: eggs for breakfast, chicken or fish for lunch, Greek yogurt or whey for a snack. Small decisions that become second nature. When your body gets enough protein, it gets the message: we're keeping the muscle and using fat for energy. And for this to truly work, the secret is to simplify the rest of your nutrition. Most people overcomplicate their diet. They count every macro, weigh every bite, follow rules that change every week, and eventually give up. But those who understand the essentials gain freedom. The real focus comes down to two things: calories and protein. Once you get those two right, everything else falls into place. It's the simplest path to sustainable fat loss that actually lasts. Think of it this way: if the foundation is solid, everything else is just detail. Eat less than you burn, get enough protein, and keep your body active. That's it. Leave the perfect diets to those who like to complicate things. When the process is simple, it fits into real life, at work, during travel, even on bad days. That's when progress stops being luck and becomes routine. And the next step is to turn that routine into structure by building a meal plan with defined times. The body loves routine. When you teach it when to eat, it responds with balance, hormonal stability, controlled appetite, and steady energy. Eating at roughly consistent intervals and avoiding meals too close to bedtime helps your metabolism align with your daily rhythm. It's like syncing your internal clock with your habits. This is a key step in turning a fat-burning routine into a lasting lifestyle. It doesn't have to be strict. You just need a pattern. Breakfast within an hour after waking, a regular lunch, a light snack, and an earlier dinner. The secret is predictability, not perfection. When your body knows what to expect, it spends less energy adapting and more energy transforming. And that's when something interesting happens. Your hunger starts to adjust naturally. Hunger isn't the enemy, it just needs direction. When you start eating at consistent times, your body learns the rhythm and stops asking for food all the time. It understands predictability. This reprogramming takes a few weeks, but it changes everything. That constant urge to snack disappears. It's your body switching to the autopilot mode of the fat-burning routine. Here's a simple example. If you have lunch every day at noon, your body will start releasing ghrelin, the hunger hormone, around that time. That's physiological conditioning. And the reverse is also true. When you constantly eat off schedule, your system gets confused. Teaching your body to feel hungry at the right time is like teaching a child to sleep alone. Hard at first, but natural afterward. And the first practical step begins early in the morning with a protein-rich breakfast. After hours of fasting, your body wakes up asking for direction, to build or to store. Protein early in the day sends the right signal. It's time to build. It activates your metabolism, reduces hunger, and prevents those sugar spikes that destroy focus in the first hours of the day. A simple breakfast with eggs, Greek yogurt, or whey changes everything. It's the real metabolic wake-up of your fat-burning routine. Think of something practical: 2 eggs, a slice of whole grain bread, and black coffee. Quick, accessible, and effective. Or, if you prefer something lighter, a protein shake with fruit. The secret is starting the day with the right fuel, not with sugar disguised as energy. That's what sets the mental and physical tone for the hours ahead. And to keep that balance, there's a nearly invisible yet powerful ritual: strategic hydration. Thirst disguised as hunger is one of the body's most common tricks. Sometimes you think you want to eat, but what you actually need is water. Drinking at the right times, right after waking up, before meals, and during workouts, completely changes appetite control. It's simple but powerful. This invisible habit quietly supports sustainable fat loss without you even realizing it. Just 1 glass of water 15 minutes before a meal can reduce calorie intake effortlessly. And when your body is well hydrated, metabolism works better, digestion flows smoothly, and your mind stays sharper. Want something practical? Always keep a bottle within sight. The brain responds to what's easy to reach. A small habit, a big return. And since we've talked about fuel and balance, it's time to look at the engine that truly transforms the body: strength training. Many people think strength training is only for those who want to get big, but it's actually the secret behind any real transformation. It's what preserves muscle while the body burns fat. And more than that, it teaches your metabolism to spend more energy all the time. Just 3 sessions a week can make a real difference. This is where true body recomposition happens. You don't need an expensive gym. A pair of dumbbells or even your own body weight is enough. Squats, push-ups, planks, basic movements that shape and protect. Think of strength training as an investment. Every repetition is a deposit in your transformation account. It's the silent effort that pays visible dividends. And if strength training is the engine, the daily fuel comes from something even simpler: walking. It's the most underrated exercise in the world. It requires no preparation, no gym, and burns fat naturally. 10,000 steps a day, roughly 5 miles. Keep your body in constant motion, boosting circulation and speeding up metabolism. It's the silent heartbeat of the fat-burning routine. The good news is, you can fit it in without changing your schedule. Park farther away, take calls while walking, use a treadmill desk, or go for a stroll while listening to a podcast. Every step counts. And the cumulative effect is remarkable. Less water retention, more energy, a clearer mind. Movement becomes therapy. But none of this works if your body doesn't recover properly. And that's where sleep comes in as the most powerful supplement of all. Nothing replaces a good night's sleep. It's during rest that the body repairs tissues, regulates hormones, and decides whether to burn fat or store it. Sleeping too little is like trying to drive on an empty tank. You might move forward, but everything becomes harder. Sleep is the cheapest and most powerful supplement for sustainable fat loss. Want to truly improve it? Keep your room dark, lower the temperature, and avoid screens an hour before bed. Studies show that sleeping between 7 and 9 hours improves hunger control and physical performance. A simple adjustment in your rest changes everything: mood, energy, focus, even strength during workouts. If this point made you reflect, subscribe to the channel as a reminder to prioritize the basics. And to make this habit stick, your body needs a ritual that teaches it to slow down, the famous wind-down routine. Good sleep begins long before you go to bed. The body needs clear signals that the day is ending: morning exposure to natural light, fewer screens at night, and calm rituals. Like reading, stretching, or meditating, create a pattern that teaches the brain to shut down. It's simple, but completely transforms sleep quality. This is the kind of habit that lays the foundation for a long-term transformation. Think of it as a pause button in the middle of chaos. When the body slows down naturally, sleep comes faster and rest becomes deeper. It's the opposite of what most people do, scrolling through their feed until they pass out from exhaustion. And the better the rest, the better the body responds the next day. And if rest is the recharger, some supplements can act as the final boost to optimize everything. Supplements don't work miracles, but they can speed up what's already working. Creatine, for example, helps maintain strength and lean mass even in a calorie deficit. It's simple, safe, and well-studied. Meanwhile, the combination of vitamins D and K2 can support hormonal balance, bone density, and a healthier metabolism. Small boosts that add up over the long term. But it's important to remember, they complement, they don't replace. A good supplement fills in the gaps. It doesn't promise the impossible. Think of them as the cherry on top, not the whole cake. And what truly sustains progress is the ability to measure what's working, because those who track their numbers understand their own body. What isn't measured can't be improved. Tracking your weight, waist circumference, and taking weekly photos creates a real timeline of progress. Sometimes the scale lies, but measurements and the mirror tell the truth. This kind of tracking brings clarity, and clarity is what keeps you focused. That's how sustainable fat loss stops being luck and becomes strategy. Think of it as a map. If you don't know where you are, how will you know where to go? When the data is visible, decisions become simple. Adjust your food, increase your steps, review your training. Small tweaks, big results. Progress stops being intuition and becomes personal science. And when you start tracking more than numbers, things like feelings, energy, and lessons learned, the process reaches a whole new level. Writing down what you feel, what you eat, and what you learn completely changes your awareness of the process. Writing is like having a clearer conversation with yourself. When you put your victories, slip-ups, and reflections on paper, you begin to see patterns, what strengthens you and what holds you back. It's the journal that turns long-term transformation into something emotional, not just physical. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be a simple notebook or even the Notes app on your phone. The key is to record. How did I feel today? What did I do well? What can I improve tomorrow? This habit builds self-mastery and focus. And the interesting part is that, over time, the changes go beyond the body. They reach behavior, confidence, even the way you see life. That's where the domino effect of transformation begins. When the body changes, everything changes. Suddenly, you wake up with more energy, work better, have more patience, and even your conversations take on a different tone. It's the domino effect. The physical drives the mental. The mental improves the emotional, and the emotional transforms everything around you. It's the beginning of long-term transformation, when training stops being an obligation and becomes part of who you are. The same story repeats itself for those who stay committed. Confidence grows, focus sharpens, and life begins to move at a different pace. And it's not just about appearance, it's about clarity, purpose, and self-esteem. Every healthy choice becomes a silent reminder of who you're becoming. And once this new version stabilizes, the final challenge appears, maintaining the result and continuing to evolve. Losing weight is just the beginning. Maintaining your new body is the real game. And it's not won through extreme effort, but through consistency and purpose. The long-term mindset is understanding that health isn't a goal, it's a lifestyle. It's the point where sustainable fat loss turns into stability, not sacrifice. That means accepting that not every day will be perfect, and that's okay. The secret lies in getting back on track quickly without guilt. Building solid, flexible, and sustainable routines is what separates those who regress from those who evolve. When the focus shifts from quick results to balanced living, progress never leaves. And when body, mind, and emotion align, something even more powerful emerges, the complete cycle of a new life. When body, mind, and emotion align, transformation stops being effort and becomes instinct. The body is no longer a temporary project, it's part of your identity. You eat well because you want to feel good. You train because you love the process. You sleep better because you understand its value. It's the moment when discipline and pleasure finally meet. That's the true sign of a long-term transformation. And the most fascinating part is that this cycle never ends, it evolves. With each phase, new challenges appear. But so do new versions of yourself. The journey isn't about perfection, it's about presence. The body changes, but the mindset is what sustains it all. And when you truly understand that, you realize transformation never ends. It just takes new forms. In the end, the plan isn't about losing 20 pounds, it's about regaining control. It's about proving to yourself that consistency beats any shortcut, and that the body you want is already being built, one habit at a time. There's no magic formula, but there is direction. And now, you have one. Think about it. How many times have you started and stopped? How many times has impatience sabotaged your progress? This content is for informational purposes only and does not replace professional medical advice. Results may vary. Always consult a healthcare professional before making any drastic changes to your diet or training routine. So tell me, what's it going to be? Another year of trying, or the beginning of your real transformation? If this video made you rethink your routine, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep going with me, because the next video might be the one that finally unlocks your journey.